How to change the oil on your 2007 to 2011 Toyota Camry. Super easy. First things first, we need to pop the hood. Next step, we need to remove the oil filler cap. This will get us a better drain. Set that aside and pull out the oil dipstick. This will just tell anybody, hey, I'm changing the oil, so don't start it. Next step is very important, and you need to do it safely, and that is jack up the vehicle. There are lift points on the side of the vehicle, right down here. Let me get some light here. All right. So there should be a little pinch weld somewhere. You know what? We're just going to go on that suspension right there. Make sure you use a jack stand too. Very important thing before starting to jack this vehicle up is this is front wheel drive. So if both wheels come up off the ground, this thing is going to start rolling. So we need to find something to put behind this rear wheel. A brick, a block, or something like that, or a chalk would be pretty cool if you have one, but I'm just going to use a brick. All right, so we're looking underneath the car here. Here is the drain plug. So this is the passenger side. While you're down here, it's good to just take a little inspection, make sure you don't have anything, leaking or anything crazy like that. This car's pretty clean. And right in front of the oil pan is your oil filter. And looks like this person took really good care of their car because they got a Wix. That has a really good oil filter you want to use. I'm using Bosch right now. It's still another good brand. Take your 14mm wrench or socket and bust that dude loose. You'll have your drain pan ready. And let her drain. Moving on to the filter, if you do a lot of oil changes yourself, this is a tool you should definitely invest in. This one I got through Snap-on, Blue Point. It's like they're off-brand, but you don't have to use that. Just a claw like this, man. This thing will, it'll get any filter off. Diesel oil filters that somebody's Loctited on there. One that came from Jiffy Lube where they, half-inch impacted that thing on there. This thing will get it off. So you definitely want to invest in one of these. You can use a strap wrench. I've had good luck with those too, but this thing literally will work way better, trust me. So we're gonna move our oil pan, or a little drip pan here. We can get underneath this filter, a little filter right there, and we're gonna go ahead and put this little tool on there and get that dude off of there. This is the filter I'm using. You can buy them at Walmart. First I thought that was rust, but it's like anti-seize, so that's weird. Anyway, so this is the part number right here if you need to get this one at Walmart. Usually I use Wix, but I didn't have time to go to O'Reilly's or order one on Amazon, so these are still a really good brand. I like Mobile One, Bosch. Stay away from Fram. I think that's usually the only three brands I ever use. Let's take a little bit of oil and just dab that along this seal right here. This is going to keep that from drying out. So you want to go ahead and do that before you put the oil filter back on. All right, make sure you don't have the old gasket on there because you'll make a huge mess. And just put that new filter on there. Make sure you don't cross-thread it or anything. It should go on nice and easy until it gets a little hard. And then just try to crank that dude on there. I never really use a wrench. I got enough upper arm strength that I can just get this sucker on there just as good tight as it needs to be. Next, go ahead and put your drain plug back in there. Make sure, again, you're not cross-threading it. Should go in nice and easy. You shouldn't have to put a wrench on it or anything like that. Get it about hand tight, and then I like to do about a quarter turn with my wrench. I got a really long wrench here, so. All right. Quarter turn, and she's good. Make sure you wipe all this stuff up. You don't want to make it seem like you got a leak. You don't. You just didn't clean it up very well, so. Been there, done that. Okay, now we're done downstairs. Go ahead and take your jack stand out. So jack it up, take a jack stand out, and let it back down on the ground. All right, you're welcome to use whatever brand you normally use. I always use Valvoline High Mileage or Full Synthetic. This stuff's really good. This takes 520 or 020. I've had better luck with 020. I think the VVT solenoids like it a lot better. You don't get as much chain rattle and stuff like that. So I always go with 020 no matter what the temperature is. So this holds about 4.5 quarts, so we're going to use almost all of this. There'll be just a half quart left inside that jug. It's a good idea to check it, you know, after it sits for a little bit to make sure you got it full. All right, so a neat little trick on these before you start pouring is have this little funnel tilted instead of straight up like this. It'll actually pour super slow because you're creating like a little block off right here. But if you put it like this, it'll just go right in there. So I kind of spilt some on a freshly detailed engine, darn it. You put your fill cap back on there. Don't want to forget that. And take your dipstick out and clean it. All right, once you verify that the engine oil is full, it's time to go ahead and start it up and you're good to go. And that is how you change the oil on one of these Camrys.